Free to Succeed, Season 2, Raid Shadow Legends. It's here edition. It's Friday edition. And, you know, let's go edition. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. This is the edition. End of the week edition. Even though we'll probably make a video tomorrow, so it's not really, doesn't really matter that it's Friday. Still gonna make a video tomorrow probably, but like, whatever. You know what I mean? All right, so yeah, the Fusion's live. One cool thing I learned that I thought I would mention is that super raids work. I don't know if it'll be like this forever, but if super raids, which now they're permanent, aren't they? So I don't know, but I was at 3 of 10 on Dragon. I did 3 runs with super raids on, and then I was at 9 of 10. So it counts as clearing it twice with super raids. So now I think I only have to do this 5 times. And I guess since it's permanent, anybody that comes through, those missions will be done a little bit quicker. It's not a huge deal, but like it's kind of cool. Oh, we have a card to flip here. You. Wow, I mean, that was a pretty good guess. Of all things considered, that was a pretty good guess. It's not going to do us any good, but it was a pretty good guess. What a stupid event. All right. So, what do we have? Arena, Fire Knight. And then a Dungeon Divers that doesn't go live for 12 hours. Oh my god, they are just so stupid. They're just so stupid, dude. Why? I'll ask again, why would Dungeon Divers not just go live with Fire Knight? Why do they intentionally stagger events that have cohesion? I mean, we know why. We know why, but also why? That's so stupid. What a stupid thing to do. There's a summon rush coming up too. Now, I have to look into it a bit more, but I'm hearing that this is going to be an incredibly difficult fusion. I've heard a couple of times briefly anyway, I should say, and I'm torn because on one hand, she's really good. Her kid is pretty crazy, right? Attack down and attack up. 2 turn buff decrease. Increases the duration of all ally buffs. Also heals all allies by 20% of her max HP on a 3 fucking turn cooldown. The crazy revive with turn meter. Buffs, gives the appropriate buff to everybody. This is a Veramos passive from Summoner's War. It's Doom Priest with bonus, basically. And then a pretty good accuracy. She's nutty for sure. They know what they're doing, right? They know what they're doing with this one. So I almost feel like I need to reevaluate whether or not I'm going to be able to do this. I'm probably going to have to look at the fusion plan or the calendar or whatever the thing is they release and see what's going on. Because again, I'm hearing it's going to be incredibly difficult to do. And they like to throw in path events late into shit when they want it to be hard. So I don't know how unreasonable. I feel like this fusion, more so than most other fusions, is going to be one of those where they're really trying to convert you into a spender. They really, really, really want you to feel like you can't miss out on this one. Because I mean that's one of the better fusions ever in my opinion. She's a ridiculous champion. So they're gonna make you work for her. It's gonna be hard to get free to play. We're as stocked up as we could be. We've been as efficient as we could be since the last thing we did that cost us our resources. We're getting gems pretty quick from all these, so we got 300 more gems coming there. We'll accumulate more silver as we knock out these dungeons and stuff. It's gonna be shards. It's always shards. Always shards that are going to be the deciding factor. Now, for Champ Chase, I've got Helmet. I can grab Arbiter. I have these in here. I don't know if it's going to work. I just haven't grabbed them yet. I don't know if they're going to work, but like, we've got a little bit of a head start on a Champ Chase, but like if it's 3,000 points in a Champ Chase, well, then it's not going to matter anyway. I'm not going to get close to that anyway. You know what I mean? Arbiter's going to be worth 500 for me. And that's going to be that. So I have no reason to expect them to not be ridiculous either. That's a problem too. I have no reason to have any faith in them, and I've demonstrated the last couple of times it's been like this. Again, to make a point, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't give them the benefit of the doubt. I do it to make the point that it's not going to be doable. So I've very recently proven that that's still the case. So I don't know. Can we play the game without her? Absolutely. Do we need her? No. Like, she would be a great addition to the roster. She'd be very usable. She'd probably help us do some things we couldn't do right now, but ultimately we don't have to have her. So I have to really give it some thought now and think about whether or not I really think this is worth dumping all my resources out for a chance to get her. Because again, you just don't get to know. I got to look at the calendar and see what the events are. I assume if there's a path event coming, it's going to have summons in it. So that's going to be like a third summon rush. They're going to sneak into the mix, which is just going to mean we're out of contention. Like, we've got a lot of green shards, but even then, I just don't know if it's going to be worth it. Man, I would really like to have Ultimate Death Knight. I really, really hate that I don't have him. He would make my life a lot easier. But aggressive events are stupid, so I'm not I'm not doing it. Not yet. They haven't worn me down enough yet. So, all right. So I guess I'll check an arena. I don't really want to do Fire Knight until Dungeon Divers is open. I don't know why I would bother doing that until Dungeon Divers opens. That is just such a... Every time I think about that, it pisses me off. That is such a stupid way to behave. And it's not even like... It's not even like they're doing Fire Knight and then when it ends, they're doing Dungeon Divers. They're letting them coexist. But there's I don't know, 12 hour... I don't know how many hours officially there is of a buffer, but like... Just... You know what you could do? You know what you could justify doing? Having one big Dungeon Divers event that lasts for the whole time that Dragon, Fire Knight, Spider, and Ice Golem, that whole window that they'll cover, and having a deep Dungeon Divers event. You could do that. There's really no reason not to do that. But no, you're right. You should probably stagger them so that there's a chance that somebody will blow all their resources on Fire Knight before they realize they're not getting any points for Dungeon Divers. That's probably the better way to do it. Because they're in profit mode. If I hear one more motherfucker say profit mode, dude, I'm so sick of hearing profit mode. Ever since Chosen made that stupid ass video, dude. Plarium's in profit mode. Yeah, of course they are. When have you ever known Plarium to not be in profit mode? Every video I make talking about Plarium, there's at least one person in my comments going, well, what you don't understand is that they've switched into profit mode now. Yeah, okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me. I had no idea. I hadn't heard that every single day for the last 9 weeks or however long it's been. Probably longer than that. Oh, time's flying by. It's crazy. Profit mode. Oh, me. So I mean, I feel like we're close to Drex, but I also feel like I've been at 80 frags for, I don't know, a month. What are we at now? 83? Oh, wait, we can, isn't there yeah. So, can you, here's an interesting thought. Do her frags stop showing up when you've bought 100 or when you have 100? Theoretically, could you farm this chest with Yannicka if you haven't finished her yet? Because I think after you get her, she stops showing up. But is that after you've bought 100 or after you have 100? An interesting thought. Where did I get 5 frags of all of these? Where did these come from? This is so stupid. Like, how did they not come in here and scroll through this and realize that this is obnoxious? This is way too much of this, dude. Like, who are these? Where did I get these frags from? I think the only frags I really have that I would swap would be his. I don't know where all these other ones came from. I know her. I know him. I know her. Her, obviously. Him. Same with Drex. Could you theoretically farm Drex frags for this? These I don't know where they came from. Him I do. Him I do. Her I do. These 3 I don't. Don't know where I got 5 frags of these guys. Interesting. Were they fusions? And maybe I finished like, it's weird I got 5 of all 3 of them though. I feel like I might remember him being a fusion. Maybe they were fusions. And I just like barely touched them. It's the only thing I can think of. I don't think that she's the only Lego I'm getting Doom Tower frags for, I think. This guy, I don't have any idea. I guess I need to be sure before I trade in their frags. New champions released. Increased chances to summon whitelisted perfect souls. We're increasing the chances of you summoning perfect souls for champions on your wish list from 2 to 8 picks. We've also increased the odds of summoning souls for legendary champions from each type of soulstone, as well as the odds of summoning 6-star souls. You can view the new odds in the default summoning chances window of the soulstone summon. Blessings. Oh, that's right. So they've upped the damage here. I think the problem they're not understanding is that this is still only applies to Arena, though. If this applied everywhere, it would be an amazing one. Increases the damage inflicted by this champion according to the number of dead allies on their team. Okay. I mean, that seems like a very specific one to use, but probably usable. Debuffs placed by this champion's default skill will ignore the update. Increases the damage inflicted by this champion according to the number of buffs on. Okay. Iron Will decreases the damage this champion receives according to the number of debuffs on them. Okay. Chance of blocking any control whenever an enemy tries to place them. Okay. This one was so dumb. Whenever an enemy attacks an ally under increased defense, placed by this champion, reflects a portion of the damage back to the attacker. Okay. Okay. Reflects a portion of the decreased damage they're going to be taking because of the defense buff back to the attacker. Now sheep debuff placement only occurs once per enemy turn. Heals this champion. This one's insane. This is ridiculous. Heals this champion whenever a shield buff placed on them expires, is removed, or is broken by an enemy attack. The value of the heal is equal to a portion of this champion's max HP. Yeah, that's nutty. That's going to be nutty on a couple of champs, dude. So then I guess we should revisit some of our blessings. Yeah, I guess we should think about that sometime soon. I think we're getting real close here to being done. Did a little bit more Minotaur yesterday. We might hold off on Minotaur throughout this fusion though, since it's not going to do us any good. Because I think I'll know. I think I'll know by tomorrow. I'll probably look into it a little bit. Was there a 130 fragments if they can top the leaderboards. I have to plan on not winning any events or tournaments rather. So champ training, 10 extra fragments. And champ chase. Yeah, I'm definitely not winning champ chase. I have won a champ training, but it's such a flip. It's such a gamble. I have no idea who I'm going to be in a bracket with, and I could be in a bracket with someone that's going to drop 50K on a champ training. You know, you can't plan on winning a tournament unless you're a huge whale and you just know that you're just going to outspend. You know what I mean? You know that you don't care. That's the only way you can know you're going to win. And then even then, if you get put in a bracket with someone else like that, you really don't get to know then either. So yeah, Summon Rush 15. We'd be lucky to get 10 of them. It's probably a 5 and a 10 deeper. So we'd be lucky to get them. We could probably get the 5. I doubt we could get the next ones. I don't know how they're going to do that. My big concern, aside from the summon events, which are always a concern because you never know what they're going to do, is this. You don't really get to plan for this because you don't know what it is. Unless Hero's Path always means the same thing. I think there's different path events. Maybe Hero's Path always means something and I don't know that yet. But as far as I know, it tends to be a combination of something. So like Summon Rush and getting artifacts or artifact enhancement or something like that. So as far as I know, it's difficult to plan for this because you don't know what it is. Although you do know it's going to involve shards. You do know that. That's not a surprise. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't involve shards. It does line up with a champ chase though, and it seems weird they'd let you double dip for shard events. So maybe not. Maybe it's champ training and artifact enhancement or something. Isn't that dumb? Just real quick, that like it's a different named event, and to speculate what it's going to be, you just have to think of 2 events that already are part of the fusion. Isn't that dumb? Come up with something else to do. Come up with something else for us to do, man. The arena ones are always easy. These are easy enough. Camp training is fine, except that Hero's Path, if it includes it, it's just a lot of champ training, a lot of resources. 3 artifact enhancements, and again, this could also include an artifact enhancement, although it doesn't. I really don't think they like to let you double dip, so I don't know. I guess I don't know what's going to be in the path. Does it say it down here by chance? Well, that's thoughtful of them. Launching the Anchor Summon Pack to help us get started. Call them what you want. But they are thoughtful. Alright, I guess we just have to wait and see what the Hero's Path is. Yeah. Okay. Again, maybe Hero's Path always means the same thing, and I just haven't paid enough attention to that, but I think it's difficult to plan for and risky. Risky to commit to this. Because you just don't really ever know what they're gonna do, man. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up here for today. I guess I'm gonna do some arena when Dungeon Divers opens in 12 and a half hours for some reason. We will jump in and start doing some Fire Night, which means we'll also knock this mission out. And when it's time, we'll knock this mission out, and then we'll knock this out and try to get Arbiter during Champ Chase. Again, assuming we decide to commit to this, I have to give it a little bit more thought, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. Appreciate y'all watching.